all the way back to Villa, if you haven't been watching, was 8-7 in favor of Astralis. A couple kills go a different direction in that final round, and it's 2-0 DarkZero. We're not there yet, though. No matter what happens, the winner of Border will move on to championship point. They will go to Oregon, one map away from hoisting the trophy. Operator ban's coming out now here on Border. A Nook ban, banned out by DarkZero. Probably sensible, given what we saw out of the Nook play on Clubhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Josie in that very, very hard-won video with Aim Lab spoke about representation. Nook is, of course, is a Danish operator, so won't be seeing her in play this time around, but she has a presence elsewhere in the game that is, of course, being banned out. And I just want to say, Josie, thank you so much for sharing a piece of yourself with us and the community and being vulnerable in this time.
I mean, it's a heartwarming piece of content is what it is.
It is.
And it's always good to see those who so much deserve it get the recognition. No, they're not booing you. They're not booing you.
Whoa.
Very bad time to boo.
Guys, come on.
Read the room. Poor time to boo.
So just to clarify the situation here, when somebody is missing an operator, or the icon on the background operator card, that's when the crowd is booing. That's what they're booing for, because rooney was missing it. That is on you, Shuttle, again. It's not about you and Josie, I promise.
I think somebody told Hyper, though. But no, heartwarming piece of content. I very much enjoyed it. I actually hadn't seen it. We were told there was a piece coming.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it in any of the rehearsals, and very pleasantly surprised. And we like the community contributions to the game. That Aim Lab skin is quite nice, if I do say so myself. I like the colors. And of course, the emotions and the story behind it, also great. rooney being picked immediately by Shuttle, so the operator that we were just talking about will be present for round number 1. Astralis again starting on defense. DZ will start on defense on Oregon. It's the very first time that DarkZero will start on that first half.
DC prefers starting on attack, so it's a mixture of Astralis choosing defense, then forcing DC on attack, and the other half is of course DarkZero themselves saying, we want to start here regardless. So it really comes down to two things. One, when you start on the attacking side, you get to ban the last attacking operator. And that's like, the attackers is like a big, pillar that you ban around in that ban phase, so you can kind of respond to what Astralis does first. Secondly, DarkZero gets to kind of control the pace and set the tone for this match to come and how they want to approach this style of gameplay. And, well, it's been mostly a good part, because sure, Mixed Souls lost the first map, won the second, but overall, DarkZero's attacks have been rather good.
And it's forced Astralis to take their time out at the tail end of the third round in both maps 1 and 2. So if you could put Astralis in a tricky position where they have to burn that time out, then you benefit for the remainder of the map, because they don't have a chance to solve whatever issues might come on the side swap. That's what happened to Astralis. I mean, DarkZero took a timeout in the previous map and then won the next 2 rounds and won the entire map off of those. First kill is going to go to the man of the hour and probably the front runner for MVP of the finals so far. Pampazoo eliminating Shuttle, but he's traded out by Iconic. You didn't see it, but in the lobby, before we got into the match, Canadian asked in all chat, where the beep is Batman? Iconic always refers to himself as Batman, and he has been absent for most of this series. Iconic has not been showing up the way that his team needs him to.
Right. That was the 3 big names in the server that we spoke about was Iconic, it was, J90, finds NTR, but it was Iconic, it was Forrest, it was Pampazoo. Most of us have shown up, but so far we're still missing one. Iconic himself is in the server. Iconic
with a kill, J90 picking up number 3. Technically not all his, because one of them was a down. The secure going in favor of Iconic. Now it's Canadian in a 1v3. Again, this is Astralis' map. DZ have won the first round of every single map we've seen so far. Canadian himself should go back to Aim Lab as he misses the Nitro cell. That's a nice shot from J90 to put the team captain out of his misery. Astralis takes the very first round on Border. The first time that they've won round 1 so far in this series.
It's a quick one. I mean, pretty much in the first minute and a half, putting it down in that 1v3 scenario, which is just so incredibly hard to win. Border as a map is so different than that of Clubhouse, because Clubhouse all about problem solving and dealing with the breaching on the map. Shuttle again. I can't. This man is like doing it on purpose, I think, at this point. Anyway,
I don't know if he even knows. Where's Where's Red Cube?
Where is Red?
Where's Red Cube? You tell him to put on the Astralis banner on all of his player cards when this is done. Thumbs up. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shit.
It has been different time for now. Astralis takes the lead for the first time the first couple of rounds in the beginning, opening of Border. And I was saying Clubhouse is all about a map about, you know, the breaches, the hard destruction, and trying to take map control with that. Of course, drone information is well important on Border as well as Clubhouse, but usually Border is comparable to that of like Coastline, a very explosive, aggressive map, long lines of sight, and a lot of engagements that really swings the favor of the teams. So it comes down to 1, aggression, 2, map control. Again, you gotta clear out that initial room that you care so much about. And sure, in that opening round it was DC, it was Pambazu who got the opening kill, but it was Astralis that kept the map control and fought back and found multiple openings after that, and therefore DC did not get the round.
All of that action happened so far off the bomb site. That was a bathroom teller's defense, by the way.
Yes, it was.
And it was like the front door and armory and then passport. Like that's where all of this like fracas ensued. This time around, a very different bomb site. This is what we would refer to as all reliable.
The all reliable armory bomb site, yeah. It's a classic in Rainbow Six Siege in competitive play back when Border was in the map pool before the rework, that is, so quite some time ago. It is now back with those map changes. It's not going to change too much, but Bathroom Tellers has changed fundamentally a lot. Armory, small lines of sight alterations, but typically defenders still like to do the same thing. Astralis hold on to CCTV security and a few rooms down below the bomb side of ventilation.
Archives Armory, as much as it might be all reliable, is not exactly favorable to the defense. Neither is Teller's Bathroom. Before going into that round, Bathroom Tellers was played 20 times and only at a 30% win rate. That is as low as it goes on this map. For Archives Armory, it's 45% for the defense, 55% for the attackers, which closely mirrors Border's overall win rate as well, which is a 44% in favor of defenders, 56% of the time favoring the attackers. With that said, that's pretty much a coin flip map, but there is a small advantage for the attackers. Astralis getting the very first round on defense is actually quite significant if those numbers are going to stay true to this match.
DC having a slow start, as they usually do, and I mean, Border, usually we see speed and violence, and so far, not really a lot of that in this round. We're waiting, holding angles, not taking any control from DarkZero yet, and J9 and the rest of Astralis, they can slowly fall back towards the bomb site because, well, time is just ticking down too fast.
That's a Malusi positioned at the top of the stairs, and it gives Astralis some information. The two players, DP Fire and J90 side by side inside of Office and Fountain Control. Down goes DP Fire's Hyper Bolts on in. J90 needs to be accurate, and he is. Lined up from the Finca as Panbazu gets out of there, and Adrenal Surge cannot be used just yet. Hyper is down for the count, but will be secured either by a teammate or by that Adrenal Surge when it goes off. There it is. Hyper back from the dead, on his feet. Astralis pummeled, and it's getting worse, even worse. Nobody from DZ is down just yet. Shuttle in a 1v5, no time left, and Shuttle's picked off. The second round flawlessly done by DarkZero, just as they did back in map number 1. And they even things, a 1 round apiece.
Not again with the banana. DC keeps picking up flawless round, 1 apiece so far on each map. So the script is following along just nicely. The only thing we're missing now is within the next 2 or 3 rounds, we should see a technical timer from one team. And Shuttle. They really gotta tell him at this point. Like, really.
Yeah, I mean, Henry's on the case. He said he'd do that.
He said he would.
He said he'd do that. They have a long way to go. They have to get through this matchup first. And then they'll have a chance to talk to him. In the meantime, feel free to keep booing. I imagine somewhere somebody up in Ubisoft is like, they keep booing because they're not advertising the R6 share skins, and they're like, that's great. Be very happy with that. Be shamed into compliance.
Oh boy.
Bomb site. Ventilation workshop. Down below, almost the same area that the bomb chassis are on the floor above, which was that Armory Archives defense. That did not go very well for Astralis. Not a single kill to their name.
The thing is, this bomb site plays out a lot better because you can stay top floor, use the vertical destruction to see the bomb site itself, and you get like one more layer to play with. It gets a bit more detailed, a bit more complex, and now DarkZero as well will have to attack on 2 different floors. You know, the top floor, or aka the second floor, and the first floor itself. When the previous round of Armory Defense, they just walked on in office, and it was quite linear, quite straightforward. Of course, here we see the EMP taken off that Electro Claw, but nullifying it. Stiano picks up into his pocket. He can use it later on in the round, but for now, this wall of jail is opened up. Creates some lines of sight and a bit of pressure onto the exterior roamers of the defenders. DarkZero are going to be rotating around. That was just the initial step. There are more things to do on their checklist. Security is next on their mind, and so far, well, there's no one really playing there from Astralis. It's too far off the bomb site. It's too hard to protect or defend anybody playing there. So that means they're going to give it up for free. That's going to buy DarkZero a bit extra time because, well, they got that cut out for them. The question now comes, are you going to clear all of top floor where we see Iconic right now with those vertical angles, or are you going to go for a more direct attack? Well, we see the EMP. There's the answer. Exothermic charge follows up. They're going to be attacking Iconic up top.
And Iconic has to fall back.
Oh!
No, that's the wrong kind of party, Panba. Eclipse's team killed accidentally. I don't know what the intentions were. Technically, Astralis doesn't get the opening pick. Neither team has it just yet, but that is so unfortunate. The only good piece of news is that the Thermite got the exothermic charge down to allow you more freedom. Things get worse. Hyper eliminated by DP Fire. Astralis can sit tight. Panbazoo will look to make up for his errors and do better than the ways that we'd seen before. On drone to try and assist the rest of his team. They've spotted one, but look at this. He's about to get shot onto the shoulder. Immediately flicks. Missed opportunity, but Shuttle still gets it either way. NJR and Canadian with the adrenal surge just ticking off, giving Canadian a bit more HP, but it's squandered. Still on the hunt. He knows that there's one in that corner. The castle of DP Fire is there. Canadian, the pre-fire, relatively easy even with his old reflexes. NJR finds another player of Astralis from above 2, and it looks to be Shuttle. But there's so many silhouettes up there. Astralis holding from above. The bomb site is vulnerable. Diffuser in the hands of NJR. And, well, just like that, they very quickly both die. One off screen, one in front of your eyes. Astralis answers back.
It's a tough start with that team kill. I believe Panba was trying to pre-fire once that breach came opened up towards that armory lock area, and unfortunately Eclipse, well, he stood 1 foot too far to the left and he got picked off instead. He did get off both of those exothermic charges, so no huge losses there, but it's just one of those oops scenarios. You gotta move on for those. Hopefully they won't happen again, and it doesn't matter what. Shuttle has really messed up at all of his operators. And to be honest, he's only playing between 2 different ones, so he's going back and forth between 2 of the incorrect ones, but hopefully at some point on border, maybe on the attacking side, he can get that synergy going once we get there. Looks like we might have a quick
Yes. Answer.
Hey!
Back to bathroom tellers we go.
Very nice. I might have been, so you guys couldn't see it on Billy, but I might have seen that Shuttle during that rehost. I think he might have managed to put it on
No,
a Rooney.
he did not.
No? Did you check?
I did see, he did not.
Okay, I thought he did.
He's on a different, he's not on the same side of the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Because when they rejoin the lobby, Nick, they all move around.
Oh, I see what you mean, I thought for a brief moment there that that was calm in the paradise, but unfortunately not.
No, there's sadly not.
Next time.
5 seconds left before insertion.
He'll learn one day. Look at the lineup that we see from Astralis. They are favoring this castle a ton. Is the Flores ban in any way, shape, or form enabling the castle to get more value?
I mean, certainly. Flores, an operator that Canadian plays quite frequently on multiple maps. We saw it on Villa, like about half their attacking rounds. And even if they, DC weren't gonna play it, it just means that now they can't at all if they wanted to flex around those various operators, as Canadian is now on the Thatcher duty instead. Of course, Castle is like the stellar operator, like the stable one for border, whereas Mute on Clubhouse, same story. He was banned out and the map was kind of funky because of it. Castle being open for border means we're back to a normal kind of expected border game, but if Castle was banned, that would have meant that this entire map is played completely different because Castle is so needed for these bomb sites.
Opening up line of sight into Passport is iconic. He can still hold that angle as long as he doesn't get pressured on the stairs. Got the clones around him. Not his clones, of course, but he sits and waits. Astralis not moving a muscle. First minute off of the clock. Again, this is statistically the worst bomb site for the defenders, and you're not going to have a helping hand when Pambazoo kills Iconic with relatively low contest.
Really is all on Pemba's shoulders, though. The injuries from DC, well, all on him so far. Hybrid trying to follow through, but nothing so far. NTR had a great performance in these games as well in the grand finals. Had 100% cost, 20 kills earlier on. Good entry into Armory on border. Slowly taking top floor control. DP fire, under fire. Oh, gets shut down by NJR. A nice rotation catch.
Read so well as NJR does some renovation work upstairs. Still plenty of presence for Astralis, not on that bottom floor, but their numbers dwindling. It was a flawless round previously for DarkZero. Astralis need to net a kill quickly on because momentum for DZ is so strong at the moment. Canadian inches ever closer upstairs to another one of those defenders who seem now to have done a disappearing act, and with a minute left have dropped down towards the bomb site.
It's hard if you're an attacker right now because the bomb site is so fortified. And sure, you got the hatch on the site itself opened up, but other than that, you're limited in how you can get in towards the bomb site. You need to exploit the fact you have man advantage and just swarm them together and play that trade game if you're DarkZero.
Pambazoo spotted, taking damage, but an adrenal surge stops him right back up. 30 seconds left to go. Astralis treading water around the bomb site. They've got these openings, and more will come with an impact from Forest. Allows him to see all the way to the bottom of the stairs. Down goes Forest, though. That impact didn't work. NJR 3 kills. It's J90. Can he net 1? It's a down and a secure on a Canadian. J90 with 2. They just throw bodies at the problem. The diffuser goes down in the process. So there's a clock that will run against Jack as he looks for more. 3 players from DZ, some from above, all those metal bars, but Pambazoo's got 100 damn bullets to secure the kill. DZ tie the game at 2 rounds apiece.
Oh, I'm getting some Villa vibes right now. You know, 1 round at a time. No one really taking a significant lead of any meaning whatsoever. Free plays there. J90 finds 2 nice picks, but those are meaningless kills. They're impactless kills. They all add to the scoreboard, of course, overall, when we finish up this map, but in that particular moment, they do nothing for Astralis. Does not affect the outcome at all. It means we're going to go into the 5th round. 5th defense. It's back onto Tellers. So clearly Astralis figured that something just did not go the way that they were supposed to. And we gotta look back onto the very beginning of that round when Iconic got picked off guard on the east stairs window by Pambazoo. Very early kill. Imagine that had not happened. It's a whole different ballgame. Astralis, they have 1 more player alive. They have 1 more roaming duo together. And when it comes down to those last 20 seconds where DC's executing, that can make a huge difference, having someone like Iconic who's so good at creating space and finding openings on your side. So they're gonna try it again. Hopefully this time all 5 people stay up. Of course, Forest on the Ella with the shotgun. We all know how frustrating this gun can be to play against. Of course, the crisp spot mines, the barbed wire as well. It gives you so much information on the entries of the attackers from DarkZero, which means that they can now, instead of having a camera, well, they got those traps instead.
Forrest having a bit of difficulty with that Guzman mine, but gets it anyway. Iconic is a focus in every single series that he's in. He's loud and he's obviously very proud of that, and he's quite the figure when it comes to the NAL, but he has not been a pivotal figure in this match. He's been quiet, he's allowed the rest of the team to carry the weight. Shuttle and Forrest have been standouts, and we've had some good moments from J90. DP Fire has also been towards the bottom on a lot of those rounds, but again, we don't have the stat tracking for the entirety of it to rattle them off. Iconic at some point will wake up, right? Like, surely he has to. At some point, I guess.
He will. He has moments, especially on Villa earlier on, and the thing about Iconic is that he goes from 0 to 100 real quick, but he's not going to go to 100 each and every single round. What Astralis needs with this phenomenal roster, with all 5 players able and so capable to play it out well, once in a while, if Iconic pops off, that's all you need, and in the meantime, the other 4 players will carry on the torch for you. It's another slow attack from DC, droning out every inch of the map, not making an incorrect step anywhere, not risking a body, not risking anyone getting taken down early. They want to play for the man advantage.
DZ struggling to get in the building right now, getting flummoxed by the play from Astralis inside of Customs. And there goes a grenade, and it goes off and doesn't get the kill. DP Fire, the first one, but it's traded immediately. Neither team emerges from that scuffle with the upper hand.
Now DC not speeding up, still taking it rather slow, but they have the angles on lockdown, looking for another opening perhaps, and a bit of map control to follow too. DP Fire, next man in line inside of ventilation servers, has to fall back slowly towards the bomb side. No spare reinforcement pocket, can't close off that rotation, that has to stay there the entire round.
It's been a very slow mid-round, devoid of excitement, but still looking for a kill. Hyper has the marks through the wall, as it may not be exciting. DP Fire survived that entire outburst, only for another LMG to find him in a different spot. It's Forrest with 2. The LS shotgun goes huge, and suddenly Eclipse needs to clutch for his team. He sees the Legion, an easy pick onto Iconic. All he has is Shuttle in a 1v1. These two have played against each other in probably 100+ matches over their career. They know each other well, but it's Shuttle with the long range, and in this engagement, Astralis comes out ahead. These teams cannot win a round in a row to save their lives. For fans of Astralis, that's good, as they regain the lead on Border for the second time.
It's a nasty job at a rooney punch right there. Breaking the hedge instantly and pretty much silently to drop down and get the kill. And DMRs in those 1v1 long engagements is so strong due to that damage per bullet value that you get. The slow-mo always sounds so silly. Ventilation bomb site. Going there again, we've been here before. We have not seen a customs defense yet. Last time we were here, it was in DC, got that unfortunate team kill on the armory side of things when they breached open that wall with the thermite charge from Eclipse, and Pembezu's LMG just rat-tat-tatting a little bit too long onto the wrong opponent. And look at DC right now, working that attacker repick. Canadian from Iana onto Ivana, and Eclipse from Ace onto Thermite. They want to make sure that there are 2 hot breaches available. Thatcher now followed up by Hyper, meaning that they, again, the focus on the walls to get opened up because the Kaid is on the board from Iconic. They know that that's an issue. If those later claws can stop them from opening up the walls, that's when DC are going to be struggling the most. So it forces their hand, getting a weaker operator on their lineup, less utility, very little soft destruction from DarkZero. But at the very least, they can make use of those wall breaches. How do you use that? Because Astralis are extending up above in armory, they're holding down forward vertically, they got the shotgun, so many of them, and they got a pulse. Oh.
Pulse is taking some damage.
A little bit of damage.
Just a little bit of damage, just a small bit. Try to go onto this bomb site without hurting your teammate challenge, if possible. This time, Astralis on the wrong side of Pembezu. He gets the right target this time, though. Not a teammate, Shuttle to go down early on. He walks into the building in the first 40 seconds. The casualty is found and another is there, but somehow J90 survives. Doesn't want to be pushed from the angle, so a grenade goes down. An explosion from behind. Pembezu flicks as he gets the kill on the J90. He doesn't need to reload, by the way, because it's an LMG, baby. 17 bullets, and he ducks in real life to get away from the bullets. And somehow Pembezu gets out, not unscathed, but still alive.
That's ridiculous. And he still has that final adrenal surge going out, almost back to half HP, and I can't believe it. He makes his way in so deep into the map, odds against him, and openings behind and in front. Stays alive, gets 2 kills, and now, well, DarkZero can play it really nice and slow because they don't want to throw this man lead. This round is practically theirs, but they still gotta play it nice.
The DP Fire, knowing that his team is battling from behind, has to get into the action, and they'll do some damage, but it's Canadian down below. Sniffing him out, DP Fire gets collapsed upon. It's a quad kill from Panda. He's not gonna get them all, but DarkZero does flawlessly. First half in the books, 3-3. DZ with 2 flawless rounds.
So close. I mean, take those 2 flawless rounds out of the equation. Look at the round scores, 3-3. With the series going the way it is, this is literally another VLAN situation. The question for me is, when do the coaches take a tactical timeout? Because you're never really gaining a lead or throwing a lead. You're just clawing 1 round at a time every single round. When do you feel like you're losing momentum? Or when do you feel like it's time for you to, hit the brakes and say, let's talk about this for a second? I am curious because Normally, you take a timeout when something is taken away from you. Hasn't happened yet, but we got the side swap. With both teams having their timeout available, that means strategically, we can see so many different adaptations. We can see input from both coaches on 2 separate occasions, and see we might even see a 4th bomb site. Customs bomb site itself is so rare, it almost never gets played in domestic play.
To back that up, in terms of numbers of the 73 rounds of border that have been played at this event, only 8 times have they gone to customs supply. Now, it skews the numbers when it's such a low pick rate because teams are not always well practiced on attacking it, and teams, when they go to it, are usually very well practiced on defending it. So right now, of the 8 times, you see 63% of that time the defenders have won it. That's a good number. But as it tends to go upward, the number tends to drop. We see this with all the bomb sites that are so seldomly played.
Usually, though, that 4th bomb set is a complete coin toss where, again, comes down to execute and preparation, just like Library did on Villa earlier on. That was a flawless, actually, when DC had to deal with that. So we'll see if they got more up their sleeves. So Tellers right now is the bomb set in question that we're watching, and a bit of a different approach from DarkZero. You know, they got the mutants to the Kaid, they're staying aggressive with the alibi, with deletion, etc. Castle to be expected. Eclipse really has been holding down the fort on these important areas for DarkZero, and so he will on border. But, well, he has to run back quite early on because there's under so much fire and so much pressure as Iconic and J9O makes their path towards Armory and Archives. But the fine thing is, DC has this entire office fountain area located, resources, reinforcements, castle barricades. They're bunkering up in this area of the map.
Well, the castle barricade essentially cuts it off. Nice shot from DP Fire. I don't think Panfizu even saw that one coming, but it doesn't matter. He's flattened by it. Half of the round gone, an early pick for Astralis, so to speak. That forces DZ to reposition because they've lost access to that crucial avenue on the map. So instead, they back away. Now utility from Astralis, as you see some small jiggle peeking. He's at the mute on the other side of Eclipse, but I don't think he necessarily wants that fight, or wants that smoke, as the kids would say.
Their stock catches those.
Hyper though, oh man, it's NJR to actually get that kill. Eclipse with 1-2, Diffuser's down. Oh, Eclipse absolutely pancake shuttle. Diffuser is down again, nobody to retrieve it other than the 2 players from Astralis, and they are far removed. Agumine will stop DP Fire inside a break room. So he gets Iconic nearby.
Saying it, Eclipse holds down the fort so well for his team. C4 goes out, it misses. No damage done. 2v3 still with 30 seconds left in this clock as DP Fire makes his way towards 90. Has to take control and be aggressive. They gotta play together, gotta find a member of DC, gotta shut him down somewhere. But it's Hyper, he gets 1. Can't find the second just yet. He wiggles around the corner, but the pistol, it finds the shot. DC takes the round. They're in the lead, 4-3.
And that's the first time that a team has won back-to-back rounds, and that might be the difference maker with how this has played out. Neither team has called a timeout at this point. On Astralis' map, they've had signs of brilliance, but DZ, of the 4 rounds that they've won, 2 were flawless. The other 2 only lost 2 players. So DZ is winning their rounds extremely commandingly. That means that there's only been 4 kills from Astralis on those rounds DarkZero has won. That's not a position you want to be in. Astralis wins theirs in scrappy fights and then get blown out in their rounds from DarkZero. If DZ takes border, we go to Oregon, which is DZ's map. And they do it on championship point.
And they start defense when they go to Oregon, which is important to note because DC has been starting on the attacking side most games, but Oregon is that few exceptions where defending is typically where you want to be. So Astralis, ideally, they want this map. I mean, it's even their map choice of border. And I mean, it's looking close so far, but it could change.
In terms of numbers for Oregon, just to back up what you said, it's 52-48 with the defense favored. But every single bomb site gets played. DZ don't get to choose which side they go to on their own map. Astralis picked attack on Oregon, which means they might know something that we don't. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. We will arrive at Oregon, but we have a journey to get there first, and these 2 teams will take us on it. Round number 8 underway, DarkZero winning the very first defense. That first half split 3-3 very evenly, but DZ coming out on top with those 2 flawless rounds. And in terms of kills, the round looked far better for them, round through round, side through side. Bomb site rotation saw Bathroom, Armory, and Vents emerge. Bathroom being played 3 times, which is a bit perplexing because, again, it has such a low win rate.
Mixed results. Eclipse, same position as before. Instead of Armory, has a jammer and a shield to help. Nate comes out, should be dealt with by the Y Magnet, and it will. Although, when it gets picked up by that Magnet, it still does some explosive damage, which means that some utility Eclipse will miss out on. It's a bit just trying to stall here. This is not the bomb site. We are in ventilation, but we gotta hold on as long as possible. We're playing 2 floors at the same time on both attack and defense, so simultaneous action across this area. Iconic second nade goes out. Eclipse now is safe from those. See if you can hold down Armory, or if he's gonna have to fall back.
Patience again from DarkZero. A team that has shown that level of patience throughout the entirety of this stage, playoffs, and even in the groups, frankly. Iconic still yet to really wake up. Sitting at 0-4 right now since the rehost. He's had a rough series, and I know that it seems so silly to just keep talking about it, but hey, guess who's in the middle of the site? Iconic, but he still can't get one. That kill was so available, but he loses out. He hesitates in a second. Astralis comes out in terms of blows by 1 player.
Barely though, Shuttle solo on HP, and I mean Canadian still hiding inside security. NTR finds DB5 in a second to follow out as well.
DZ waking up. Astralis falling by the wayside. They're marching their way towards a victory on border. He's got so much munition, but it doesn't matter. Out.
Armory.
Might be one of the best clips in Rainbow Six history.
Oh my god.
Of NJR eating a banana.
Certainly was intense. The crowd commentary to that.
Oh, I mean, it had a conclusion, too. We didn't know what happened to the rest of the banana, and all of a sudden we saw it. So. In terms of bomb sites so far used by DarkZero, or that they've had to go up against so far, DarkZero defending on Bathroom and on Armory. Or rather, Vents. Now they go to Armory.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion.
I actually can't tell what they're chanting.
No, I can't. I thought, SSG
I thought it said SSG too. I was like, you're 2 years too late. I appreciate it anyway. Immediate change from Astralis, visible. 2 operators, jump to mind.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's look at DB5 for a second. Ying, explosive operator, iconic on the Capital. This speaks to execution, speaks to chaos, speaks to high, fast-paced gameplay from Astralis. And for Armory, Archives bomb side, these operators high in value, and Forest also finds NGR, opening pick for Astralis. They need this so much, and they find it. This means that once we get closer towards that bomb side, we're gonna have even better odds of coming out the victor. Of course, the smoke and the fire from Capital can clear corners and gives you cut off of line of sight. The smokes and candelas from Ying, same story, gives you that entry into the bomb site itself.
And Suppressor as well on the LMG. That's an interesting choice. We'll use the word interesting. Iconic had an LMG at his disposal, instead going with the Para, so a smaller magazine. Again, potentially a stylistic choice. There could have
Attackers have
been
located a
3
bomb.
technical LMGs on the team if they so wanted.
It's true.
Astralis breaking in the top of East Stairs and will confront the mute chambers that are on the wall inside of Office. Forest attempting to find a blind spot in it. Lack of coverage, it's not there. So successful denial. There go the Candelas. Look who's in. Iconic is in, and he loses again in his heads-up gun duels. Iconic, 0-6 both times. He seemed to have information and knowledge, and he's getting shut down repeatedly by the guns of DarkZero.
Where's the follow-up? Like, who's helping Iconic succeed right now? Because he walks in alone. Sure, that Candela somewhat helped him, but why not send a second player to help him in case he falls? The shot is not up to the challenge right now.
Shuttle with the flashbang, but there's 2 players in that area, including a shotgun that will be pointed squarely in his direction. This flash should be quite successful, but he gets jumped upon. Nice flick from Shuttle. Instead, the players from DZ have fallen back, so Shuttle moves forward, doesn't see to his left. There were 2 of them. But DarkZero losing out on another gun duel off screen. Forest takes out Panbazoo. Canadian and Hyper together. Longtime friends, teammates. up against the 3 from Astralis. Hyper inside of Fountain. That was the position that he was in before when he took out Shuttle. He's going to continue to move. DP Fire not far away, but look at this. There's one last Candela. It goes in, and the follow-up will come. Surely Hyper doesn't win this. No, he doesn't. So free for DP Fire. The old man will need to shoot back. Diffuser in the hands of Forest, getting planted. Canadian has a small opening. He sees it and wins the duel on DP Fire. Goes below. They've lost control of the bomb site, but look at this. You can just mag dump into the soft wall. That's exactly what will happen. Canadian sees the Zofia, no chance in hell. Astralis, after the timeout, take a much-needed victory.
But it's scrappy, right? It's close. It's not a clean cut, but they make it. Hyper and Canadian in that 2v3 played so far apart, it cost them in the end. It's a nice build-up early on. Hyper hiding inside a fountain, got a reward, but eventually fell to his demise. Forest, such a good play there, staking that diffuser, even though his teammate died right next to him. Did not fear for the cover, knew that he could get that bomb down in time, and secured J9O's post-plant position on Zofia. The trust in your teammates to get the job done when it matters is there for Astralis, but they need to help Iconic get into this match. They need to help him succeed on those entry positions. They could make it work afterwards. Shuttle himself did it, fought the Eclipse inside a fountain and pushed on through. But you gotta do that together before your first entry falls. Iconic has the tough job of entering at a professional level. It is arguably, by most Pro League players, when you ask them, what is the hardest role in professional play? They will tell you entry, because you're walking into the map, sometimes blind, sometimes with info, against the best players in the world that will not miss if given the opportunity to hit you. And you gotta somehow walk in and shoot back and hit them first. It's a tall task. That's why you gotta use your Jones information to help your entry fragments out.
I mean, look no further than their opponents on DZ. DZ's gone through how many entry players trying to find someone who fits their play style. It seems like Panbazoo for the moment is very much the answer. But is complemented quite well by both Hyper and NJR. If they need Eclipse to do something, he's in that same spot. If he needs to flex, and then of course, Canadian can also go on to flex/support. Versatility from both of these teams means that once you have a bona fide entry, you can make sure that the rest of the spots are filled out. I do agree though, there will be a long talk about Iconic's performance in this grand finals, especially coming into today with some of the highest stats in every category that we track.
I agree. I just want to make sure that it's clarified that you gotta help out your teammates' entry fragging capabilities. It's not just an Iconic, but yes, we expect more from him, of course, and so far, it's being way too quiet. Slow attacking start for Astralis as they're making their way through the map. Of course, they got the box, they can go down below, do some destruction. We are on a Teller's bomb site downstairs below. And also got the sledge, so doubled up on the soft utility pieces. Canadian roaming gun does so well so far. Oh, bad timing, only gets some damage, not a kill, but Shuttle will now know that there's somebody there.
Hyper takes down Forest. DZ want match point, they can feel it, and they've got the first kill. Astralis on attack, halfway through. Damage was done to Shuttle. Adrenal Surge gets him back up close, but Canadian outduels him. Veteran versus veteran, and it's DarkZero's who emerges ahead. DP Fire takes down Hyper, losing a lot of HP. There's an Adrenal Surge. Iconic still searching for that kill here in this half as Eclipse takes him out with a Nitro Cell. DZ in a 4v2. They can almost feel assured of a win, and match point will be theirs. But there's fight in these two last players from Astralis. J9O at full HP, DP Fire very, very wounded. Lots of munition. Again, you've got 150 bullets, but you said you need support. J9O has none of it. Panbazoo silencing the only player from Astralis with a fighting chance. And it's DP Fire against the world. To clutch out as he ascends upstairs, where do you go with 30 seconds? If you're DarkZero, you don't need to get too cocky. You don't need to get too cute. Diffuser is within reach. DP Fire sees one, but you talk about support. DZ has their teammates back. Panbazoo with the final kill of the round, and DarkZero moves to map point.
So that instant reaction from the members of DC, when one person gets into a gunfight, a second member is there to strike back and ensure that a trade goes through. And now we're at this location once again. One more round for DC. A couple of rounds for Astralis. We're going to take us to OT for the second time, as we did on Villa early on. It's a back and forth, but right now, DC are looking pretty good.
Hold on a second.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Hold on a second here. Supply Customs is where we see DarkZero go. Why did we talk about this bomb site earlier, Nick? What stands out about it?
It is, by most people's definition, a terrible bomb site, right? It's hard to hold, it's hard to defend, it's played very infrequently, and sure, it has like a high win rate so far, but it's a complete coin toss of a bomb site. It relies above the room, above the bomb site itself, security. You cannot hold this area. It's just impossible. It's so difficult. You got the window, the break room door, the armory soft on the balcony, and usually, you know, you're fighting holos or 1.0 zoom scopes against 1.5x zoom scopes on long combat fights. That just favors attackers, right? You got the Lion, you got the Osa, so we already got some deny. The Lion, defenders can't move. The Osa grants protection to the attackers, lines of sight, of course, and you can also set you up for a plant or a push. So I really like Forest on this Osa pick. It is clearly designed and picked with customs in mind.
Well, this is where you want to take the team that can catch fire at any moment. Astralis' timeout got them the next round. DZ answers back right away. It's an E1D burned by DP Fire. The lineup for Astralis could be particularly annoying, and Osa's shield is invaluable, especially if you want to look for an execute. A quick execute could happen too with the Lion on the board.
I think so.
You've got smokes in the hands of the Osa and the Thermite. So execution for these attackers, for the diffuser, is very within their grasp. It doesn't look like a quick strat though from Astralis, at least not for now.
Note how iconic now is on Thermite. Now, I haven't seen them play border before, really, so I don't remember if that's normal, but this could be because of his poor performance on the entry. Put iconic on a supportive operator to help his team succeed instead. Might just be the solution that they need.
He's been demoted to Hardbreed.
He has.
Unfortunate. I know that there are people who use that as a joke, but it's true, and we see pro teams do that. If you cannot hit your shots, you can also request that of yourself. Look at this. Shuttle's in the middle of the bomb site right now, and he sees the leg of Thunderbird. Down goes NJR, and Shuttle still has control, but DZ on the retake will take down Iconic. J90 is prepared for that. Shuttle is gone. Oh. DZ are somehow winning this. Iconic still killless. DP Fire, though, catches Canadian in the back. We reset into a 2v2. Eclipse is in the bomb site, so DZ has taken back control. This is hollowed ground. I don't really know what Pambazoo is talking about, but seems to find it very funny.
Oh boy.
You can never guess what Eclipse is thinking from his facial expressions. Never. Not one bit. But for DarkZero, you have to be thinking we are one round away from going to our map on Championship Point, the first international win for this organization. DarkZero have worked so hard for it, and all it can come down to is 40 seconds, and then you become in an even better spot than you are right now. Drone shot at J90 through the wall. They know he's inside of supply. Oh. Nice shot onto Eclipse. Suddenly it's Hyper in a 1v2. If there's anybody who's gonna be able to clutch this, it's him. Out goes the Gone 6. Playing off of this debris, but looks the other way just at the final moment. Sees the head, a nice shot from Hyper, and he's able to do it! Totally blind! He can't see a damn thing! But we can see that DZ takes it! What an end to Border! What an end to that round, good lord!
We're gambling everything on that pre-fire. You can't see, if you miss, it's over. The final bullet takes out the Lion. It puts DC exactly where